Professional football in America is a special game, a unique game. Played nowhere else on earth, it is a rare game. The men who play it make it so.
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs and have some fun.
Coming now, buddy. We on our horse all day long. Let's just kick that butt all day long. Pick it up. Don't stop. Pick it up.
Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It's me, Mike Lepre, King Michael, 11:05 a.m., August 1st, Sunday morning. I'm smiling because just hearing Lawrence Taylor say that just makes me smile. It's an automatic smile for me my whole entire life, because I know that we're about to unleash like hell in shoulder pads. Joining me on the show, as always, is Brother Ray. Brother Ray, good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning, King. I got to say, hearing John Facenda this morning, the legendary voice of NFL football, he is the guy who basically made those NFL videos pop, made the league popular. We'll never forget that voice, watching all those videos. I'm so happy football's back.
That voice right there, the minute you hear it, especially with the trumpets in the back, you're like, oh, this is football. I'm ready for this. You know what I mean? Joining us is Mastradamus. Matt, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing excellent, but I'm thinking, right, if you start talking like Lawrence Taylor is talking, you can basically get flagged now for, like, comparing yourself to a dog, crazy dog.
That's the least of his worries.
I'm just saying today you could get flagged for talking. Personally, I don't believe we should be miking up plays. These people should be saying stuff about people's wives and so on.
He actually told Eric Dickerson, the rookie, that he was going to kill him and his whole effing family. And you guys know the story. Dickerson went and sat down on the bench, and the coaches were like, where's Dick? And they're looking for him. He wasn't in for the next play. And they were like, get in the game. And he's like, no. And they're like, why not? He's like, he said he's going to kill me and my whole family. I'm not going back out there. They're like, just play football. And then at the end of the game, he goes up to him and he goes, Mr. Taylor, I'm sorry about that. And Taylor just goes, you motherfucker. That's screaming out. And he goes, I'm only kidding, Rook. You were running good. And he's like, Dickerson's like, man, don't do that to me no more.
Don't chop me. But he said, don't chop me. Don't chop me.
Yeah.
Rookie.
Hey, so waiting for Genius Kev to join us. Like, I'm glad we're back now, where this is the show that started everything else, that Jack built. This is what we're good at. We've got 4 different opinions. Most of the time, all of them make sense, which is weird because they're usually varying opinions. But this year, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure you get all the fantasy info, the outsiders, keep you up to date with that. And as far as the betting of football, Genius Kev is so ready to bet football this year. I can tell. I mean, if you watch him during the basketball season, how much he was enjoying it, then you just know. Because basketball season is great, but football is like 3 times, maybe 4 the juice of basketball, right? So he'll be joining us. Question I have for you guys until he joins us. I feel like I keep waking up in time warps. So I got up, I came up here, I set up, right? I had to move my computers and all that stuff because I was looking for colleges with my daughter. So we get upstairs and I set it all up. And the first thing that pops on is like, it's like either Google News or Bing News or whatever the frig news they put up on the page. And it says, Britney Spears shows third naked Twitter picture. And I'll be honest, right? At first, I went, my mind heard Britney Spears naked photo. And it went, yeah, well, all right. And then I looked down to the right of my computer and it said 2021. And then I went, oh, no. Like, you know what I mean? And then I actually clicked on the link to see the nude kind of photo. And she's standing there holding her boobs. And I feel so sad for her. It looks like she pulled over at like a Denny's and shot the photo. It's just wrong in 100 reasons. It's like, what the hell has happened that it's gotten to this?
I feel bad for all those Disney girls.
What's that?
I said I feel bad for all those Disney girls. It seems like every girl who went through Disney kind of is cuckoo. You know, Miley Cyrus, even Ariana Grande, just straight up cuckoo. Went through the ringer.
Miley's doing good. Miley keeps doing good. This is just really weird.
I think Miley is kind of more of an act, and I do think she is business-minded because, honestly, I don't think that her stick would have lasted unless she did go with the crazy thing, which is kind of what everyone does now to stay relative.
Listen, not to keep talking Miley Cyrus, but the truth is she hurt her vocal cords. And
really?
She has to sing now in a deeper tone. So her last album or so was like, sounds like rock and roll Stevie Nicks. And she's actually done a cover for Metallica and Enter Sandman and killed it. So she's got a more rock voice.
She's a bad chick.
She can't go up seriously high anymore, I guess, from breaking out her vocal cords. But Brother Ray, what do you think about this whole Britney Spears thing? Like, how do you help stop this? Like, if you're in that camp, how do you stop this?
The issue is mental health is a real issue, okay? And you know what? You have that stardom, and she's had that conservatorship, and what's really troubling is she's fighting to get released from that. But this is not the behavior that's going to make that happen, and it just shows that she obviously still has issues. The reason that was set up in the first place, I watched the documentary on it. They won't say what happened, but I think she did something really, really bad to warrant that. But I mean, I just hope she gets it right. It's tough. With social media, and she's never really had anyone in her camp to help her. I think with Miley Cyrus, her dad was a famous star. Her parents, were in the business already. So I think that really helped her. She had someone to kind of guide her. But Britney has had nobody, just people trying to prey on her and take advantage of her.
And the thing is this, her taking those photos right now, while this whole thing is going on, right, is the equivalent to walking into your house, telling your wife, honey, I cheated on you, and throwing her a gun, a knife, a hammer, and a saw, and handcuffs, and then going like this, don't do anything to me. That's the equivalent of it. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you make it so much worse? Why would you put yourself in harm's way? But okay.
Hey, I love Britney, but why are we talking about Britney?
I just had to. I'm gonna move on now. My second before football, as I still try to delay for Kev, is I told you about how CM Punk and Daniel Bryan both went to AEW, right? You guys both heard that.
Yep.
Well, Braun Strowman, if you know who he is, he's also cut by WWE. He was that big monster guy. Well, as of last night, midnight, Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, has been cut from the WWE.
Oh.
If he goes to AEW, the Fiend goes to AEW with Braun Strowman, CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, but
WWE might lose this.
Don't you think that's almost deliberate and healthy for both? Because competition is good.
Dude, there's already competition in New Japan, places like that. There is a TNA still going. Like, AEW gets those two guys. If they pick up the Fiend next, how does WWE stack up?
WWE had to cut contracts from what I was hearing. They were going to cut a lot. And there's more to come from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
They got to cut some big names.
Two quick NFL notes. One, Kelvin Benjamin shows up at Giants camp, right? He was 261 when they talked to him last year. They said, show up at 251 and we'll run you through. He shows up first day of camp at 268.
Wow.
Actually heavier than when they recorded him the last year. So they told him to go home. And then he tweeted about how Joe Judge isn't going to be a great coach because he just sits there cussing with only his one-sided view. And I'm thinking, that doesn't make sense. He'd only have really one side of a view, But, all right. Secondly,
that's too bad.
Can I tell you the shocker, though? This is what I want to get to, and I'm trying to rush to it. Here's the shocker of all NFL news. On day one of practice, Devonta Smith injured his leg and had to be evaluated. Now, I don't know how that could happen when you've got legs made of granite like he does, but it got me thinking, I hope he doesn't keep getting hurt like this. I feel bad for it. I know it proves my point, but I don't want it to happen to the kid. And I wonder if he is too small. And secondly, I wonder if Jalen Reagor is like the fantasy sleeper wide receiver of the draft this year. Brother Ray, go to you first on that.
You couldn't be more wrong. You didn't mention the 60-yard bomb he caught like on the second day of practice. This kid's going to be special. He's tough. He is thin, but you know what? He does more things at the wide receiver position right now than most 212-pound guys and 220-pound guys. This kid will not quit. He will not fail, and he's going to be the Eagles' #1 receiver. Write it down. I mean, Reagor is actually having some issues in camp right now. One of his childhood friends actually was murdered, so he actually left camp for a little while, trying to get his head on straight. He actually failed the physical the first day. He failed the conditioning test. Him and Goddard actually failed the conditioning test. I mean, he'll be back, and I think he'll be better than last year. But Smith is a #1 wide receiver, and he's going to be a stud.
All right, but so we're on the same page. As of 7:30 last night, it was reported about his injury in camp. So this was just happened yesterday type of thing. Let me bring in the genius. How you make out hooking up that computer there, genius?
I'm all ready, King. We can get started. We can start the news. I'm ready to go.
Okay. All right. So, gentlemen, what we're gonna do is simple.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. I'll do it live.
Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning. That was a very subtle, very, very subtle Anchorman reference right there.
Hold on.
When they first give Christina Applegate her big break because Ron is late. He comes running in sweating. He's like, we can start, and they had already finished.
All right. So, gentlemen, what we have here is a tier system. When I go to this, we can just see the whole screen, right? What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to put these teams in their bless you. Bless you.
COVID everywhere.
3 times is too much. Bless you. Let's sneeze twice. Listen, we're going to put these teams where we believe they belong this year, based on what we think they have, just in a positive note, like looking at them in a positive way. So you have the S teams, which are Super Bowl teams. You have the A teams, which are like, the best of the rest. Then B, C, and all the way down to D. Any questions, guys?
Not yet.
Can't like this. All right. We'll start with what they give us. The Bengals. I would say, I don't know. Let me not say. Ray, you go first. What letter would you put the Bengals at?
Right now, I'm going to put them in the C category. I don't think they're a bottom tier team. I think they will take steps. They're starting to add some really good offensive firepower. And that offense, was prolific last year. They didn't win a lot of games. Their defense really needs to step up. They got better as the year went on. I'm going to put them in the C group.
Does anybody truly argue with them being in the C group?
Yes.
They could be a B, but I'm comfortable with a C.
No.
Kev, wait first. Kev?
I'll go with C because I want to hear what Master Elvis has to say here.
Matt?
Did they improve that offensive line? Probably not. Jamar Chase is a huge addition. T. Higgins now becomes almost irrelevant in fantasy aspects. No, he does.
He's a touchdown
I told
catcher.
you guys last year Tyler Boyd was the #1. Now Tyler Boyd is 1A. He's gonna attack Jamar Chase, but Tyler Boyd is Burrow likes the slot receiver to begin with. Tyler Boyd, like I told you, I love Tyler Boyd.
What were their touchdowns last year? T. Higgins was the guy who caught the touchdown.
He tamped it off. He tamped it off at the end. But what I'm trying to say here is, this is the Bengals division, and it will be for the foreseeable future. The Pittsburgh Steelers are out the window. They're not going to do any better than they did last year. They were also tailing off. The Browns are right there in the thick of things. They're going to be the team to beat. Let's see if they can continue to be that team. I love Joe Burrow, and I love the Bengals. I think that it's going to be a hot division for the next 5-6 years at least.
So then where do you see them?
They're right there with the Browns. I don't care what anybody says. They're right there with the Browns.
What letter though? On this,
I got them in the Brown, right above 1. They're A.
Oh boy! All right, Kev. How do we handle that? Because if it's 3 of us that say C, 1 says A. If we didn't even put math to that, it would probably end up being maybe slightly in the B.
Yeah, C plus. But we got to kind of, because Master Ramos and I go back and forth on a ton of things, but we always kind of try to remember the position. So we got to keep this in mind as the season goes on, because I like his arguments. And the only thing, Matt, that I would say that you kind of so they didn't improve the offensive line. They didn't improve it by drafting Sewell, but they did improve it. So I could see them if the coaching is solid. I could see them in the let's compromise and move them to a B with Mastronomus's notes on file.
All right, Ray and I would probably disagree, but that'll be duly noted. All right, Kev, I'll let you go first on this one. San Fran.
They're either, I would say, an A or an S. I'm going to go with S for them if I'm going first. I like, they got crushed with injuries last year. I love the offense. The injuries, guys getting healthy on defense, Bosa being back. I think they're a legit contender. They still got Garoppolo, but they got Trey in the wings.
Oh, you're serious?
Yeah,
yes.
That's serious. Yeah.
Oh, I maybe an A. Well, like I see B to A is where I would put the 49ers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, Ray?
Yeah, I would have them as an A. I mean, yeah, they did have a lot of injuries, and they do have talent, and I love the coach. The problem though is quarterback. Like Garoppolo. Okay, what are we going to get? And Trey Lance is a rookie. Not every rookie quarterback comes in and pops. So I would put them in an A. I think maybe in a year, yeah, they are in the S category with Trey Lance with a full year under his belt. But right now, I would put A. They're strong everywhere. I would put A, borderline S, but right now A.
Yeah, they're not beating Tampa. They're not going to beat Tampa, in my opinion.
Well, you got to get Matt. What do you think? Oh, that's the wrong team right there.
Nope. I'm glad that you guys started with the 49ers. You guys know how I feel about them. I think they're a Class A organization. I think that they're S. I think that they will be there in the end. I think they're capable of being the contender, and I think that they could beat Tampa Bay because you can run. They run. That's what they do. They run the ball well. So if you could keep Tom Brady off the field by scoring points, and we know Tom's going to score points, then you can beat them. And I do think that they can run the ball. I think Kyle Shanahan's a brilliant mind offensively. I think that they're pissed about the quarterback position, like Brother Ray was saying. But if they can get it right, which Jimmy gets it right 75% of the time, but let's see. He's getting pushed by Trey being in the wings. I think that there was a lot of injuries last year, and I always said once they get healthy, they're going to be fine. Now we know the Rams are kind of going to be on the downfall. Seattle's going to be Seattle. What do we expect from Arizona? They're going to be in the thick of things. They're going to be there in the end.
Look, listen. I think the NFL has changed, and there's a couple more teams in the NFC that are going to give the 49ers a hell of trouble. Like I think it's become that kind of league. I'll agree with A because that way we're all on the same sort of level. We'll keep them up.
Can I make a suggestion? Because we got a lot of things to get through. Let's try to do the first assessment very quickly.
All right.
And then maybe a minute a team or something. And then
ready? I'm going to go next. I'll go next. I'm going Green Bay. I want Green Bay as an A. It could be a B, I guess, but I think that the Green Bay, he comes back, Rodgers, he tries to win this one. If everybody's healthy, like they're saying, why can't they be an A team? They are that good, right?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first? Kev?
I'll agree with an A. I could see A or S, but in the interest of time, let's go an A, and then we'll do a review after. That's my
Anybody else disagree?
I would put S only because of that division. I mean, they're in a really weak division. So, I mean, they're going to position themselves pretty well, you would think.
I'll tell you what, we'll review the A's when we get done. If we want to bring one back up, we will, right? So A, I guess, is fair. All right. Matt, Cardinals.
I would say wild card. They're not. I would say C.
Yeah.
They got to pay. They got to pay Chandler. Yeah, because you know what? They didn't win one of those tough games last year. They won that Buffalo game on a Hail Mary, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
And that was about it. And then they went downhill after that. So until you show me something, I can't believe
All
in
right.
you. I like the AJ Green addition and what they did in the draft, but they got to pay Chandler Jones. They have to. Number one
right.
since 2012 with 97 sacks. Come on now. It's the best in the
Raymond,
business.
Raymond, the Colts.
The Colts right now, I put them in the B group.
I would agree with that one. I don't have a problem with that. Anybody else?
Wentz being Wentz right now.
Yeah, he's
Well,
hurt too.
Let's speak about that. He tripped out the gate, and now you got Jacob Eason, who I love. You know, and let's be serious. Like last year, all they needed was a quarterback. Philip Rivers was not that guy. Whether or not we'd like to be, say it, but if they had a quarterback that could actually lead that offense, they had the defense to win a championship. So if Jacob Eason can show anything, and I do believe in Jacob Eason.
All right, so we all agree with C. I might say B.
I got them in B.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can go with B.
B.
They're big, and with high upside.
All right,
With high upside.
wait, the pages just give me a hard time. Hold on.
The Colts could be there in the end.
Come on. That moment when the page gives you a hard time and you have to make the decision, keep saying wait or exit page. Come on. I hate this.
Man.
I hate this.
You might want to screen cap it so you can get out and then get back in and then just put everything back.
Oh, I'll remember who would, but come on, man. All right, hey Kev. While we're waiting for this to happen, I was trying to explain to the guys how when I woke up today and I got up here, get everything filled out, it actually said
Come on, man.
Britney Spears poses fourth nude photo. And I'm like,
Man, he loves
at
Britney.
first, Kev,
He
at
loves
first, Kev, I thought to myself, all right. And then I literally thought, I looked at the year.
You
and I was
click
like,
save.
I was like,
Don't
no.
lie, you saved it. You saved it.
Hell
You
no.
saved the photo.
Hell no.
This is really probably not a good look for her. She just gets
That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying.
the court thing to break up that conservatorship, and that's the first thing she does.
Like, not a good idea.
No,
Listen, she's been an object her whole life.
Who's up next? Is it me?
Wait, what happened? How did Cardinals? Who was the C? I
It's
thought Cardinals
me.
were C.
I moved
It's
the
me.
Cardinals up to B. What you guys wanted me to do? Who's up next? Matt? All right, Matt, you got the Bears.
Oh, he got screwed there.
No, not really. I like what the Bears are doing, and honestly, it's going to be tough to keep Fields on the bench, especially when you know the upsides of Fields. I think he is a winner, and I think he's probably. I don't want to say tied with Mac. I'll say tied with Mac Jones, but I think actually Mac Jones probably has the better upside because
Where do you
want
want to put the Bears?
I like the Bears at C, but they could be a B. But I got them at C because they are in a weak division. I think they could compete, but they got to get Fields in there.
I go next. I'm going with the Seahawks.
Kid's a winner.
Does anybody have a problem if I have the Seahawks at C?
No.
Yeah,
no. Really? I would say.
I'm doing that, yeah.
I thought I was going to get the Seahawks. So I was going to say A, possibly B, just because of Russell Wilson.
I'll put B then. You guys happy with B?
B's fine, but I'll be honest with you. That defense is awful. They did nothing to improve it, and that's why that's why Russell Wilson's wicked mad right now. They're going to be the same thing as they were last year.
Sorry, so I think that's fair then. Ray, you get the Texans.
D. I mean, E if you had it. Whatever the bottom rung is.
Kev, you get the Jaguars.
I'm going to say D also. Just they don't have I like
I'm gonna leave now. I'm not taking this right now. I'm gonna leave.
Matt, you're the Chargers.
Hold on. Let's speak on the Jaguars. Come on now. Are you kidding me?
But all right.
Okay, go ahead. On the Chargers. Chargers are gonna be a C, but I got the Jaguars at a B. I think the Jaguars are gonna compete. They're gonna compete right out the gate.
Brother Ray, do you agree to moving the Jaguars? Because I like them at D.
I would put them at least at C. I agree with a lot of things Matt's saying.
I can live with a C as long as I get to do the Cowboys. Cowboys, we're gonna go. I'm gonna go B for boys.
Ooh.
I think it's higher. I think
I don't have a problem with that. I don't know. I don't think it's higher. I think that's where they belong. They're not an A yet. Until Dak comes back and plays, we see him go. That's where they should be.
Even with that offense being the number one offense in the league, and it has the capabilities of doing that, and I love CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup, but I would have them in a C because I don't think that they fixed that defense, and I think they can get squad upon like rainfall.
I think they have, but go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and do the New York Football Giants. I'm gonna put them at a C, and here's the thing: I honestly believe they're gonna be like a B this year. I'm watching it. I'm watching what they're doing at camp. Did you see that they re-signed Alfred Morris? And I'm not even joking. And if you want to know the sleeper pick in the fantasy football is going to be Alfred Morris. Because did you see how the Giants used Alfred Morris last year? Like he's perfect because Alfred Morris is one of those guys who gets the ball and it looks like like I told you guys, it looks like he stops and he waits to see what happens and then he runs, right? But they re-signed him to a decent contract. All right, so any complaints with that? You guys want him at the D? I mean, because I actually was thinking B, but I'll stick with C.
C's fine with me.
I would put him at a D, but you're hosting the show, so we'll leave him at C.
Oh, that's all right, Ray.
I'm okay with C.
Matt.
They're definitely not a D. I'd put them at C with upside out, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I like them and this team over here. I'm going to pull them out of blue. Sorry for the logo, but that's what they still have. The football team. I think they're the same level. Like they're both ready to go to the B. It's Fitzpatrick.
Listen.
That's what's holding them back. What do you guys think?
Fitzpatrick is an addition. Fitzpatrick is an addition from what they had last year. Washington won the division with nothing, and they stumbled. They had interchanging quarterbacks, and they are the B, and I would have Dallas rated below them. They have the defense, and they're gonna be the team to beat.
I think it's gonna. Kev, I'm a C.
I could live with a C. I think everyone's a little too high on Fitzpatrick. The guy hasn't put together a full season in ever, probably. So I can live with a C.
I would say Fitzpatrick is a better quarterback than Cam Newton, and we've seen what Ron Rivera did with Cam Newton. I think he's going to make magic out of Fitzpatrick.
Well, Ray, what do you think? Can you agree with a C?
No, they're a B. I mean, they're solid at every single front. Defense, special teams, offense. They have great players at every position. Fitzpatrick is going to be the glue, I think.
Kev, I think that's an illusion because I've watched the football team play in the past, and I know how they play. They're not going to be that good. They never are. Yeah, you know what I mean. There's that time of season where you got to make sure you remember all the other past seasons, how history repeats itself, how they're pumping up the football team, and you just got to sit back and go Fitzpatrick, huh? Yeah. And go. All right, we'll see.
Okay. I think you and I are on the same side on this one, and Brother Ray and M1 are on the opposite.
100%.
And we're usually right. We're usually right.
All right, let's who is next?
I want to hear either Ray or M1 do the Panthers.
All right, we'll just start with Ray. We'll go down. Ray, Panthers.
B.
Wow.
I love the Panthers. Love their coaches. Love the players. I love the Panthers.
Sam Darnold's Panthers are a B. That's what you're telling me.
Yes.
Yes.
See what I mean, Kev? See what I mean, though? This time of year.
I said this about the draft, and I will say it, which is a very positive trait. Brother Ray and Mastronomist are eternal optimists.
Oh.
We're going to have the whole league is going to be B. B-A. Yeah.
Every guy is going to turn out, oh, God, this is the perfect time for him. You know what I mean? It's like,
best OC in the league.
Yeah.
Generational
I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
They got like 3 or 4 generational talents.
Yeah.
All came out the same year.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll leave him at B. I'll leave him at B. I don't know. Kev,
remember when the entertainer said, who had them picking a corner? I did, and I had J.C. Horn as my top corner. I said that they were going to go defense because they liked what they did in the offseason with the offensive side. That's the reason why I believe that they were going to go defense first. I didn't see that coming, but I believe that the Panthers are going to be that strong. They're in a weak division. They're going to beat up on the Bucks. I mean, they're going to beat up on the Saints.
Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons. Forgive me. Celebrating early morning celebrating.
Kev, the Saints.
I would say C, being slightly generous. I think they're going to be in big trouble this year. Michael Thomas is a friggin' head case. I have no idea why that guy waited until June to get surgery. Now he's going to miss a chunk of the season. They have no other wide receivers. The quarterback position turned over. Defense, they still have some problems there. So I'm going to give them a C for my assessment.
I would not argue that assessment. Gentlemen?
Yeah, what Bill Parcells once said, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have 0 quarterbacks. So I agree with the C assessment.
Okay. All right. Matt, I'm going to give you the Raiders next.
Oof.
That's tough.
It is tough because they did a lot of good things last year on the offensive side of the ball. They lost some games they should have won. They won some games they shouldn't have. And they were in some games. I think that they're on the downward spiral, honestly. They're in a tough division. They're going to get, muckled up, I think. I don't know. I'd have to say that John Gruden is capable. If anybody is, I do think he's an old school cat. I don't know if he's got that team's attention.
What
I'd put them at a C.
Anybody argue that? They could be better, but I don't know right now. I feel like
it could be better.
There's no way they're going to be better. Their defense is atrocious. John Gruden's not a head coach. He's an offensive coordinator. C is probably the highest I would go.
Ray?
Yeah, I'd say C, borderline D. They do have a new defensive coordinator, so I think they will be a little bit better on defense. But I'm still not convinced Gruden has it anymore.
All right. Listen, so I'm going next. Now, going next to me with this one is like I just stole the ball from the other guard, and you guys are back there trying to play basketball, and I just go down all by myself. And for some reason, I jump off 2 feet, and I actually get over the rim, and I power dunk it, hold the rim, fall to the ground, and I scream because I'm so goddamn happy. And that's the Eagles are a mother in D. D as in dumb. D as in just dumb. That's what I think of the Eagles. Anybody want to argue the D I see the Eagles playing with?
No, they're a C.
Oh, boy. Yeah?
Yeah.
No, they're not. Like defensively and offensively, they're not a C. I'm
going to show you. The great thing about this is not only are they a C, but they're going to be better than your Giants. And Jalen Hurts is not just a capable quarterback, but he's a every part of the field quarterback. And that's what the upside is with him. He's almost Pat Mahomes. Like I said that before. He's like Pat Mahomes in that case. He can attack all the areas of the field.
Is he almost Donovan McNabb-like?
Better than McNabb.
Is he almost Randall Cunningham-like?
Yeah.
More complete player.
He's better than both those quarterbacks? Because all I'm trying to say is those 2 quarterbacks get the same exact hype that this guy's getting, and they had zero Super Bowls. It didn't matter.
Randall Cunningham
had somebody in the flat for his life.
Randall Cunningham was a more complete player than I think Donovan McNabb in the terms of like aspects of like mindset. But if Hurts can get that kind of mental capacity like Randall Cunningham, he'll be elite.
Kev, your thoughts? Because they're a D. I'm telling you, they're a D.
I agree with you, King. I completely agree. I don't think Hurts is going to be as good as a lot of people think. I don't think they have much on offense. I think they got to get rid of Hurts. He's got to go. They have 1 wide receiver. So, and I don't think their defense is that good either. So,
I want to further the point that Brother Ray was saying earlier about Jalen Reagor being a sleeper. King said it, and it's funny that King said it because it made Brother Ray say some good points. I do think that Jalen Reagor is going to be a surprise player, and with the capabilities of Hurts being a big player, it's going to be like Tyreek Hill in the point of big plays down the field, that's going to be Jalen Rigo. I expect that.
Raymond,
it's funny.
Vikings. So I'm sorry, Kev.
Well, look, can I say one more thing? I do agree. It's fine. I do agree with that stuff. But I'm not a big fan of the new head coach. There's a lot of turnover in the organization. I think when you add it all up, there's just too much to overcome. So that's why. That's the other reason why
and it's Philadelphia. And it is Philadelphia. We can't forget that the city name is Philadelphia. Raymond, the Vikings.
I'm going to give the Vikings a B. They have a new defensive coordinator. I think they're going to fix that this year. They have the personnel on both sides of the ball. Great offensive line. Their defense, they do have the talent. They just didn't play up last year. And I think, Cousins is starting to slowly come into his own. He got better as the year went on. I mean, I'm always down on him, but he finished the year strong. He's solid at the wideout position. I think Irv Smith is going to have a breakout year. He's going to go absolutely bananas.
Yep.
I like the Vikings. I think they're going to be better.
I agree. I do agree with that. Anybody else?
Agreed.
See.
All right, so one disagreement. We'll keep it. So, Kev, you're the Bills.
I mean, Bills have to be an A. I think there's going to be some regression there. I like what they did on the draft. They had 2 pass rushers. I think that helps. But Josh Allen had a monster year. I don't think he's going to go back to what he was a couple of years ago. But I just think they got a lot of the offense just sort of came together in a great way. So I think they'll regress a little, which is why I don't have it as an S, but I will confidently say A.
All right. So you want them as an A, okay?
Yeah.
Anybody disagree? Any major disagreements?
I have them an S, to be honest with you. I mean, they were 1 game away from the Super Bowl last year. I think they got better. I mean, all they lost on offense was John Brown. And I think what they have in-house, they're going to make up for that. They signed Sanders to a nice sleeper contract to work with Cole Beasley. I think the running attack's going to be better this year. I think the rookie from last year is going to come back stronger. There's not much not to like with this team.
All right.
No, you can't tell me that they got better. I don't believe that Emmanuel Sanders is better than John Brown, and they did nothing to shore up that defense, which was their weakness, which made them, where they were. I believe that they are a status. They're not going to be back there in the Super Bowl or sniffing the Super Bowl. They're not.
So, Matt, you're up. Patriots. Did we lose, Matt?
No, he's a.
I know, I'm joking.
A. I'd say A.
All right, you would say A, but I don't think anybody in the room is going to agree with you that they're an A.
I would go B. I would say no, nothing less than a B. I would
say nothing higher than a B, right?
I would say between B and A. I mean, they're another team. They're coming back. A lot of players opted out on that defense. I think Cam is going to be better. He already looks better in camp. I think Aguilar is going to be what he needs. He's got the tight ends now. That offense has the tools now that they need. I would say B to be safe, but they could very easily be A.
All right, so we have 3 Bs, and Matt say, "Where do you want to decide this?" I'll put them at A. I don't have a problem with that.
They will be sniffing in the end of the year. That's the team that they are, and Bill has to answer. And I don't care what anybody says. That I've said a few times on the show, the heat and the pressure is on. That's why they spent more than any other team in the history of the NFL.
Let's leave them at B for now. Let's leave them at B. Let's leave them at B. If we decide to move them up, we will. Right? We can adjust them.
Just one other quick thing on them. Their over/under for win totals is still 9. I'm probably going to make a big bet on that. The only problem with those bets, you have to wait all season for them to cash. They're tying up money, but 9 seems pretty low for that team.
Yeah, by the way,
they're going to
Kev, if you wanted a stat or an easy bet, Daniel Jones always runs over the over of what they think he's going to run for in a game.
Perfect.
It seems like every game they ever given him whatever amount he ends up.
Isn't he a quarterback?
He runs like he's so scared. Like he runs really scared. I mean, he ran so fast that he fell down. You remember that, right? So
yeah.
He has 20-yard bursts that happen like that, and no one really thinks anything about it because it looks so awkwardly weird. But he's always over whatever they say, 20 yards, he's going to run. He always runs over that. He's like an easy bet. I went through the numbers. All right, next we have the Denver Broncos. That would go to, I guess, me, right? I'm asking Matt. And I'm going to put them at a nice solid C. They could be a D, I think. Or what do you guys think? I'm putting them at C. Gentlemen, Kev?
I would say I could see that easily being a B if they get decent play out of Bridgewater or Locke, which I could see Bridgewater being their starter, just consistent. They have three really talented wide receivers. They have a good tight end. They have running backs. Their defense is very, very solid. Fangio's a good coach. I don't think they can beat Kansas City out, but I think they could be a B.
Ray?
I think they're good right where they are as a C. Again, they are a quarterback away. I think Kev is right. If they get a quarterback, I mean, they're pretty solid everywhere else, even that defense. But the bottom line is they don't. And Teddy Bridgewater, he can execute the offense, but he's not going to win games. They really need that stud quarterback. So next year when Rodgers comes over, they'll move up to like A.
Matt, any concerns with that? Can I move on?
I can't even say anything after that. That was great, Bridgewater. That was great. Absolutely. Yep.
All right. So, Ray, back to you. I don't know what these two little symbols are. I'm going with the big ones. The Lions.
That's D.
Worst team in the league.
Anybody have any?
They're going to be slightly better than. Yeah, the Eagles are still down there in the D, and that's so bad by you.
All right, so Kev, to you, the New York Jets.
D.
Oh,
no way. No.
Yeah, I agree, 100% D. Right?
No, they're gonna get 7 wins this year.
Wow.
Right
now, I think they have to start there based on what they came off of, and with a rookie quarterback that looks like he's 6. I mean, I think you got to start him there.
All right, so here we go. Who would be next? Who went last? Kev, you?
Yeah, I went last.
So, Matty, to you, the Cleveland Browns.
They're right there at the A level, I'd say. B level.
I think they would go A by what they have talent-wise. Yeah. Anybody else? Kev?
I would say A.
They're the team to be.
They're borderline S. I think they're borderline S guys. I really do.
All right, I agree. All right, so I'll go after this. Baltimore Ravens. I think they're a B. I don't think they're an A because of the uncertainty of the way they played. But they can run the ball. They're going to run the ball incredible this year. The line, their defense is tough. You know what? It's hard putting them there because I'd rather put them somewhere like as an A. But thoughts?
Is this the year that Lamar gets injured? I see him sitting this year. I see somewhere in the year him not playing, not finishing the year. And who's the kid backing him up that they started letting him play? I don't see him finishing the year. I don't think this is Lamar's year.
What do you think, Kev?
I don't think.
I got to go A. You look at the rest of the teams in that B tier. Who would you, if any of these teams were playing the Ravens, you'd pick the Ravens every time, except for maybe the Patriots. But I got to go A there. This also could be the year Lamar learns how to throw a pass outside the hash marks, and they tear it up. I think their coaching staff is amazing. I think so. I got to go A.
Ray?
I would go with A just because they're solid on both sides of the ball. Still have a great defense. They should get better at the running back position. I mean, new offensive philosophy too. They're adding the passing game supposedly, so we'll see if he opens it up. They need to open up the offense. I think they'll recognize that.
So, Matt, you have any issue with them going to A?
Absolutely. This is the year we see the Ravens croak.
All right, King, your call.
I'm going to put him in A because I would just average-wise of this. Just give
Mastradamus. No. Oh.
Ray, Atlanta Falcons.
D. You keep giving me the Ds. All these chump teams.
You wouldn't give them a C?
No.
Oh, wow.
Kev?
No, I agree with a D.
Oh,
I think they're going to score. I hope they score a ton of points, but I think their defense is atrocious. Even though they played better second half of last season, but we got to have some Ds here, and I can see them easily slip into the bottom.
All right, to move along, Kev, KC.
Oh, S.
Maddie, Tampa Bay.
S. It's a repeat of last year.
I'll go with
KC
the Rams. I'll go with the Rams. I know you guys like the Rams, but I see them as a D. So I would actually, I guess, give them a C to appease everybody else in the room. Is everybody else happy with a C?
Not at all.
All right.
Are you kidding me? I think they're A. I put them in the A group easily.
Kev?
See, I don't like the Rams. I don't like the way their GM runs the salary cap. They're the ultimate stars scrubs team, and they have no depth at all. So if they had some more depth, they could probably be an A. But I see them as I would say you beat with them. I'll go B, even though I really think C.
Here's my thing.
I'm off
Who's
the
the quarterback again? Who's their quarterback again?
Stafford.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. Stafford.
No,
I don't.
Stafford's going to be effective. The fact of the matter is, Cam Akers was the heart and soul of that team. He was special. Darrell Henderson is going to be a solid RB2 in fantasy, but he's not the electricity that you're going to get with a Cam Akers. And they don't have the best wide receivers. You can say Cooper Kupp is nice, but Robert Woods is a number 2. They don't have anybody. They lost Josh Reynolds. I don't like the Rams this year. I think that they lost a lot with Cam Akers. They're C.
So where do we fall? I got a C. Matt got a C. Ray got an A. Kev's a B. Kev?
I think they got better, guys, all the way around. I mean, that defense is solid. They have the best defensive lineman in the game. Probably best offensive line in the game, you could argue. I don't know. I like them.
All right. It's froze right now, so hold on one second. I'll wait for it to gain its connection. But
They
we
better
only got
hope they're right with what they gave up for Matt Stafford. They better hope they're right.
I don't think they are. That's my thing. I'm just not a big Matt Stafford fan.
You guys remember Shawshank Redemption?
Yep.
Matthew Stafford crawling, 30 miles in a tunnel of shit.
He's awesome. Matt Stafford's nice. I like Matt.
All right, hold on. Yeah, I can move these. Wait. Keep saying wait. All right. Tell you what. Hold on one second, gentlemen. Let's stop that for now. All right. We only had 3 teams left to do in our breakdown. That was the Dolphins, the Titans, and the Steelers. So if we were to just discuss that, where they would be Dolphins, Titans, Steelers, in my head, I think the Titans are what? We considering them an A or a B?
B.
Ray?
Yeah, I think they're not gonna be as good as last year. I would put them as a B.
All right. And then I think Kev would agree with that. The Steelers, that's a tough one, man. Are they just a B? Here's the thing. That's what I was going to say. Are they just a B because that's what they usually are? Or is this the year we finally they say that they're a C?
I think this is the Bengals and the Browns division, and I think that we're going to see regression from the Ravens and Steelers.
All right. So, Ray, where do you put them?
I would say maybe for this year, put them as a C. The problem with the Ravens and Steelers is they draft so well and they do such a great job of building a team that they're usually able to get by things. But they have not addressed the backup to Ben Roethlisberger, and this might be the year that really gets them if he gets injured early. So I would say C.
All right. So we have Titans at B. We have them at C. Who's left? It would be the Dolphins. Okay. C.
Oh, no.
I would
Dolphins
say B. I would say B.
They're at least the B.
You think this year with the quarterback that some of you guys don't seem to like, go right to a B?
I say C.
C, myself. That's what I say.
I even think I missed the
Tua
Titans,
had
but I would think C on them too.
We put a B on the Titans.
Yeah.
And
Tua had one game that was 3 turnovers. He almost beat KC single-handedly down in Miami. He did one thing that rookies are prone to do, and that's turn the ball over. He did not do that in that one game. He is very good with ball control, and now he has toys.
Can I be 100% honest? Can I be 100% honest? I see so many similarities between the Giants and Dolphins in the way they're built, right?
You should.
And no, I do. I really do. The way the defense plays. And I'll tell you this much. I feel like the Giants have more skilled players. They have the better skill players than the Dolphins. I mean it. The running back, can you argue that one? No. The wide
That's about
receivers,
it.
can you argue that?
That's about it.
No.
That's where it ends. That's where it ends.
I think
The Giants have better wide receivers.
King.
No, I don't think so.
No, wait. Where am I not being honest?
Devontae Parker was a high first round pick, and he is a good product. But then now you add Waddle.
Jalen Waddle. Albert Wilson's
And
having an
Fuller.
incredible camp.
Never mind, Preston Williams was their true number one. He's now their fourth. You're going to see him get soaked. You want to talk about late round gems or people that go undrafted? You can get Preston Williams, and he is going to put up numbers this year. I guarantee you that.
I'm not going to name every Giant wide receiver, but still,
They're
Giants
deep.
wide receivers are that's an incredible core to have right now.
I want to take the rare time here to agree with Master Ramos. I think Preston Williams is a stud. I hope he gets an opportunity. He's physically, he's like the right height, he's the right weight, right speed. He could be a phenomenal receiver.
I like third year, second year wide receivers because every year in fantasy, there's like about 2 or 3 of them that just go boom, right? Like, how do you feel about me sitting on Deontay Johnson with the Steelers? Like, I like that kid. I feel like that he's getting better as he goes. Brother Ray, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think he has upside. I mean, I think as far as yards per catch, he's right up there with the league leaders. The only problem is opportunity, and how many looks is he going to get in that offense, especially with the rookie coming back, Claypool, who is going to be a red zone stud. He's going to get the touchdowns, and I can't believe that, Genius let that trade go through in the corrupted. I'm so upset about that, and we should still have an investigation about that.
What is the exact trade? What was the exact trade?
It was Claypool for like a dozen donuts or something, I think.
From who to who? Gentleman Dave was involved?
No. This was young Alex and Jesse.
Oh, brother Jesse was involved with his stepson. The only one that can get a hold of him. And he got Claypool for somebody we don't know.
It was like a third round pick or something. Or, like, I don't know, like a dozen donuts, a couple clam cakes.
But then again, Alex also did draft T. Higgins and then drop him in like week 3.
Hey, look, Brother Ray, all I got to say is Brother Jesse and I argue a lot, but he knows the number of my Swiss bank account. So when he needs to make something go through, he knows how to make it go through.
Apparently. So, all right. I want to do this. The
Call ruse.
I want to do the legit fantasy football league. So
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt. Where do we end up? Did we agree? How many S teams do we have? Was it only 2?
There's only 2. Yeah, because Pittsburgh ended up being a C, the Titans ended up being a B, and then we argued over the Dolphins being, I guess, a B. Where I think they're a C.
So
We
we're
only
saying
had 2 teams. Chiefs
we
and
look at
Buffalo.
this that can make the Super Bowl. That
Yep.
can't be right.
Well, we that's how it looked. We got a lot of B teams that are right there, like the ones that are their next competition.
Well, honestly, Kevin, I think that this is the correct answer because this year I do only think that there's 2 teams that make the Super Bowl. I do think this is a repeat year. And I think that's okay to say that there's not, you might have teams that show themselves this year, but let's see it because right now I think this is a collision course.
Kev, I got it for. Wait, I actually got it for your radio. Hold on. Oh, hey, Kev, hold your horses, guy. Where is it?
Because I would say that Packers and Niners are probably the next best in the NFC. I would say Niners will probably make the NFC Championship game, and I would say
Look at
AFC.
the A's. All the A's can get there, but they're 3 AFC, 2 NFC.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty cool. All right, yeah, I guess definitely. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think I agree with the A's. I agree with the S's. So.
The only team that I could see opposing one of those teams is the Colts opposing the Chiefs. And then you got in the NFC possibly I don't know. I wouldn't say Green Bay, San Fran, but then you got, let me see, I'm looking at these teams. Yeah.
All right.
Any dark
right,
horses there? I don't
I
see
like the
it.
Browns and Bills in the AFC. I think they could challenge the Chiefs this year.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this. Next show, to stop breaking down fantasy for everybody, should we start with quarterbacks to make it easy, to make it simple so they can go like back and if they go back to the catalog, they'll see quarterbacks, then maybe running backs, then receivers, tight ends,
Yeah, why not?
right? Should we do it in that order?
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Why
So
not?
next show we'll do is we'll put a tier of quarterbacks. Fantasy wise, we got to figure out what type of league. Like I guess a regular league, non-PPR. Are we gonna do PPR?
I'll do both, but PPR. I like PPR, but it is what it
Jeff,
is.
I
Whatever
need
you guys
your
want.
answer on that. You want to do PPR for the legit league, or should we rank
Well-
things on?
I would say most leagues right now are PPR or half PPR. Where corrupt league is probably a little bit backwards with that. So I would say we should do either PPR or half PPR. Half PPR is kind of comparable.
Not that much changes the quarterback, but at least we'll all know we're on the same page.
Yeah, I won't touch quarterbacks, but it'll hit wide receivers and running backs pretty heavy.
All right. Any NFL things you guys would like to say before we got like 5 minutes left? I know that I got something I want to say, but the floor is open, Ray. Anything about the Dolphins or anything you want to say about football?
We want X. Save X. Give him some money. Come on, Mr. Ross. Step up.
They
Front
said
load
that he might
contract.
stay. I heard that he's going to stay. That's what I heard last.
I think they're going
I
to work.
read
Go ahead.
Well, I read a pretty good article on him, which is probably a hit piece planted by the Dolphins themselves that hit all the negatives. Like he's 2 years into a 5-year deal. He got suspended for punching players at least twice. He's missed a bunch of games. It was pretty much a hit piece on them. He gets targeted at he was in the top 3 of number of targets. So he did have 10 picks, but they throw at him all the time. So it was like the opposite of say Dion that nobody ever threw at ever. So it was a pretty good hatchet job on him. And I was just kind of curious if you started to see that kind of stuff too, what your thoughts are there.
It's all over Dolphins Twitter, but the bottom line is he's the best in the league.
Ooh.
There's no question. He takes away the other team's best player, and it's tough to replace somebody like that, especially for what he's arguing about. He doesn't want more money. He just wants the backloaded money put up front. I say do it, and let's go. Let's make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Kev, anything you want to add?
And the other thing I can't believe, I'll keep on this topic. So there was some other stuff, but this is more important. I cannot believe they paid Byron Jones what they paid him because he was not an amazing corner in Dallas, and they just created all this problem. They created this huge problem for X because of how much they paid him.
He has a good agent. He has a good agent. That's not. I mean, when X signed, he was the highest paid corner, and then next year, he wasn't. But you know what? He fits what the Dolphins want. That get their hands on people. That big corner that's going to stick and check at the line of scrimmage. X. I mean, he had a bad agent. He fired him, but that's his agent's fault.
Matt, anything you want to add?
I'm ready to rumble. I want to challenge you guys to an overall spread, the 4 of us each and every week of picks.
Yeah.
And we can do, whatever you want to do, throw in each week a percentage or whatever, but a pot.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a really good
You know
idea.
Man, I tell you what, the only thing bad about football season is that everybody becomes an expert. Everybody, like everyone you talk to. I'm just saying, I'm not including us. I mean, we get to be experts, but like you meet people and they tell you stuff, and it's just like, yeah, is that what you think? Really? Is that what you read? Look, you read with his All Labs guide. Jesus, Christopher Trisme. How good was that, Ray? Was it fantastic? Was it fantastic, Ray? So,
I love that it's at the ready, always at the ready.
Always at the ready.
The one point I'm going to leave with is the NFC East has been a crap show for the last couple of years. Like, who's going to win, who's not going to win. They all end up different than you think. I think the same thing happens this year, except for the Eagles. Like, I think the football team, the Cowboys, and the Giants will flip-flop and fight for the division, and then the Eagles will just stink. Like, they won't even be counted. I mean, they're just going to stink. I think there's a couple teams like that are going to stink. Those D teams we picked are going to play some really bad football. Like there's some really bad football there with the Texans and the Lions and the Jets and the Falcons and the Eagles. Like those are rough games to watch. You know what I'm saying? There's really going to be some crap teams this year. Anybody? Anything you want to add before I wrap it up? Bang. Yeah, well, that'll never happen. He's one injury already. All right, so for Mashadamas, for the Genius Kev, for Brother Ray, it's me, Mike Lepre, Legit Fantasy Football 2021 here on August 1st, moving into the 2021-2022 season. Let me say that one more time so you guys realize how old you are when you hear the numbers. We're moving into the 2021-2022 season. How did that happen? But that's where we're going. We will see you guys again Sunday. Next Sunday, I mean, tonight at 7 o'clock, we are welcoming, don't let me get this wrong. I'm going to get it wrong. I know it's Chris and Bill Reap. There we go. Paranormal investigators with a lot of experience. It'll be a good show as always. So we'll see you tonight at 7.